Greetings, everybody. Beatle Dave, your friendly neighbourhood record collector, calling to you from Derbyshire in the UK on this bank holiday weekend. I hope you're all well and dandy. Now, I will apologise because I did actually do a video yesterday of the record fair, but my phone's been playing up and it wiped it. So I haven't actually got any footage of us at the fair. So I thought what we'd do is a finds video instead. So if that's okay with you. I don't know how long this video is going to be because we've got a big bag full of records that we got at the Matlock Bath Record Fair yesterday, which was Friday, the 7th of April 2023. So you're watching this the day after or whenever you're seeing it. So I don't know if I'm going to do one great big long video and show you the finds or if it's going to be split into 2 or 3 videos. I think we'll just start and see what happens, shall we? So a little bit about the background of this record fair. I've been to it a couple of times before. It's about 15 odd miles away from where I live, and the people that run it was actually doing 3 record fairs this bank holiday weekend. There was on Friday yesterday, one today and one tomorrow. We went to the one at Matlock Bath. There's one in Derby today, and then tomorrow there's a massive one in Chesterfield, which we're not going to be able to get to, unfortunately, because my car's off the road. But hey ho, Beatle Dave. Yeah, so we made a day out of it, me and Susie Sue. We had a cup of tea as soon as we got off the bus. We went on the good old bus, because I get free travel in a bus driver. Seemed to take forever, though, to be honest, to get there. When we got there, Susie Sue had a nice cup of cappuccino coffee. I had a Diet Coke. Yes, I know it's not working, is it? Then we went to the record fair. As usual, I spent more money than I was intending to spend, as you do, folks. You know how it is. You sort of like get carried away. Then we went across and had a quick pint of beer. Then we had a walk down Matlock Bath, had some lovely fish and chips, went for a couple more beers, and then came home. And when I got home, I realised that my stupid fucking camera, this fucking thing's going to go out the window. Although it had recorded it, I'd actually wiped it as well. But hey ho, you still go to see some of these wonderful, weird and wonderful records that I got at the record fair. You'll have to excuse me because, like I say, I'm not quite sure how long this video will take. I'm not going to rush it, so if it goes on for 10 minutes, it goes on for 10 minutes. If it goes on for 40 minutes, it goes on for 40 minutes, and vice versa. That one actually isn't from this. All right. So if you're sitting comfortably and you're nice and relaxed, like I say, this might be a long video. I mean, it's 3 minutes already, I haven't shown you record yet. Get yourself a cup of tea, coffee, or maybe even something a little bit stronger. Magical Mystery Ball tour bus, that one there, look, that's the old one, and that's the new one. That's the new one that I got the other day. Down off the top again, sorry. Right, down to the records. Like I say, some weird and wonderful records we've got. Work out roughly what I paid for each one. It wasn't too bad, but I still ended up spending a lot of money. And Beatle Brad, if you're watching, you will love some of these. Honestly, you will love some of these records. You really will love some of these records. Should have done all this before I came up, shouldn't I? They are mainly Beatles, but I think there's 2 that aren't Beatles. They weren't that expensive. And the first one is a good old bootleg. The Beatles Christmas album. Now, I've got a very, very convincing version of the UK version of the Beatles Christmas album. This one is supposed to be the American version. I'll take it out of its little plastic sleeve. So the cover's quite nice. I don't know if this is what the American version looked like or not, because I've never seen it. You do get the, you can read what it says on the spine. The Beatles Christmas album. So you get 1963, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, and 69. And it does say not for sale, SBC 100 just there. Bits of bootleg. And to be honest, although the cover is nice, I think the actual cover in America was blue, wasn't it? I think. It's, you know, it's something different to have, as we keep saying. The labels aren't very convincing on this, though. I mean, you can tell by a mile that this is a bootleg or counterfeit or whatever you want to call it, but it is nice because it's on green vinyl, lime green vinyl. But yeah, I mean, that is terrible. You can hardly read any of that. The B-side's not too bad. Nice heavyweight record, though. Honestly, that must be 150, 160 gram easy. So that was the first one, the Beatles Christmas album. Complete fake, bootleg, counterfeit, whatever you want to call it. Still nice to add to my collection, though. It's something a little bit different. And in all honesty, it's not a Beatles album you play every day of the week, is it? That was £20, 20 English pounds that was, which isn't too bad. I don't know what that equivalates to in US dollars, probably about $16, I should imagine. Probably what it's worth, to be honest. And we have a picture disc, 12-inch picture disc LP. And this one is nice. This is nice. Let me get it the right way around. This is Yesterday and Today. 12-inch disc LP. Again, very, very heavyweight. We've got the song list in there. So that's you know, the most common version of it, isn't it? But then you get the famous butcher cover as well on the back. I hope you can see this okay. I know it looks a little bit fuzzy-wuzzy on there, but I've had to focus slightly, but I daren't even use my phone at the minute. That was £20 as well. Capital ST 2553. So I presume this is a counterfeit or bootleg as well. I'm not really bothered. I'm not really bothered what it is because I haven't paid a fortune to get them. So that's what I'm sticking to. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So that's those two. So those two cost me £40 in total. Then we have Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. And I can hear you shouting now, for fuck's sake, Dave, why have you bought another Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band? Well, if you listen and sit back and enjoy, you'll find out. Very, very nice, shiny, fully laminated sleeve. I actually thought this was just a basic edition, to be honest. From Parlophone Long Play, PCS 7027 stereo, but then this has got a printing mistake because at the bottom, it's there, then if you can see it, it actually says there, this is a mono recording or mono record. Yeah, this is a mono recording. I don't know if you're going to pick it up on there or not. So that's one thing I thought to buy, but then I thought, hang on, it's not a gatefold. It's not a gatefold sleeve, just a single sleeve. So I thought, that's interesting, folks. But then I looked at it and I'm thinking, well, it's just on Parlophone, isn't it? So that looks all right. And then it says made in Australia. So there is a clue. Made in Australia. Again, weird and wonderful. It's actually on a pinky marbly effect. Great, isn't it? Hey, fantastic. Now, I must admit, I haven't had time to play these yet, so I don't know what they actually sound like, which is going to be a bit stupid, isn't it? I bet you're thinking, well, what the fuck are you showing them for? You know, come on, Dave. Why are you showing you these records if you haven't played them? I'm not reviewing them. I'm just showing you what I've got. So that is actually quite unusual. Again, it's a fake, isn't it? Or bootleg or counterfeit, whatever you want to call it. Now we've got a Rolling Stones LP, No Stone Unturned, which I think came out in the early 70s. I think came out and was basically a collection of like some of their not so famous songs. Nice cover though. And this is the real thing. It's not a. This isn't a counterfeit or a bootleg or whatever you want to call it. This is an official UK Decca sanctioned record. So you get Poison Ivy, the singer not the song, Surprise Surprise, Child of the Moon, Stone, Sad Day. Side 2 you get Money, Congratulations, I'm Moving On, 2120 South Michigan Avenue, Long Long While and Who's Driving Your Plane. Hope you can see these okay. Again, it is in really, really nice condition, this, but it does need a nice shiny Decca labels. Back listing. Flat as a pancake as well, that one. Lovely LP to add to my Rolling Stones collection. Yes, it's Beatle Dave, but Beatle Dave does like a lot of other things, as we've said before. Love the Stones. I love Bowie, David Bowie. I love Sex Pistols. You name it, I like it. Although I don't love the Beatles, I absolutely adore the Beatles. I'm fascinated by the Beatles. Probably a bit too good for my own health sometimes, but Susie Sue is a very, very understanding person. She understands my addiction to the Beatles and to vinyl, because that is what it is, really, folks, isn't it? It is a bit of an addiction. It's like, I'll be honest, most of these LPs I've got, not all of them, but some of them, I didn't really need because I've got the original UK versions, but these are slightly different. Either the US Christmas album, or that's counterfeit, or the other ones, picture disc, coloured vinyl. That's what I'm just like starting to collect things a little bit different now. Next, we've got Twist and Shout by the Beatles, which was actually the first Beatles LP released in Canada, I think, which is basically, was it the first or was it the second? It might have been the second LP. Yeah, this might have come out after Beatlemania. So it possibly is the second Beatles album in Canada, although technically this is just a reworking of Please Please Me. But you've got From Me to You on it, and She Loves You. Nice album, though, isn't it? In fantastic condition. Mint, I would say. Manufactured by Capitol Records of Canada Limited. Album first released in Canada, February 1964. They got liner notes. Brilliant photo of the boys on the front. Photo there. Like I say, just mention Beatlemania, which we did get, didn't we? We've got a version of that, and that is an original. £18 this was. Oh, that Rolling Stones one, by the way. That was 20. Sergeant Pepper was 20. Most of these were £20 each, apart from this one and another one I've got. You'll love this one. Again, not a genuine record or genuine LP, officially licensed LP. Well, I don't think it is. Red vinyl. Side one. And this is like really, really blood red. But for £18, you can't go wrong, can you? Goes with my t-shirt, doesn't it? Look. And I can see through it. Woohoo! See ya. So I didn't think that was bad, £18. If you're saying I haven't got this album, well, I've got Please Please Me. I haven't got Twist and Shout LP. £18. Is that worth £18? What's that in US dollars? About $15, $14, something like that. I don't know. But you know, this one I don't mind. I don't mind. I know it's not an official LP. It's a bootleg or counterfeit or whatever. But I'm not bothered because, like I say, I haven't actually got a copy of this in my collection. So, you know, when I say I'm not bothered about having a bootleg, I'm not, or counterfeit, I'm not endorsing them. But there was a hell of a lot of these sorts of records at this fair. Not just Beatles, David Bowie ones, Led Zeppelin, Oasis, you name it. They weren't all official keys. A lot of them were, but to be honest, a lot of the Beatles stuff I'd already got, and prices weren't that bad. Don't get me wrong, but there was nothing absolutely outstanding where I thought, "Oh yeah, I've got to have that. I've got to have that." You know, so the idea was to go and buy some nicer versions of some of the Beatles LPs that I had got, but turned out I bought these weird and wonderful ones instead. And I'm having fun going through them with you, so I hope you're enjoying it. This is David Bowie, this one. In the Beginning, which is based, that says In the Beginning Volume 2, so I don't know what Volume 1 would have been, because this is basically David Bowie's first album that he released for Diva in 1967, which I don't know if it was released in America or not at the time. Not the one that was later reissued as Space Oddity, which was also called David Bowie, which was originally on Philips or Mercury or something in the UK. Right, so you've got Uncle Arthur, Rubber Band, there's a rubber band that plays tunes out of tune. Love you till Tuesday, fantastic song. We Are Hungry Men, Little Bombardier, Side 2, Silly Boy Blue, Come and Buy My Toys, Join the Gang, Maids of Bond Street, and Please Mr. Gravedigger. Please Mr. Gravedigger, don't do you now. Do, 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 do. And this looks like it's never been played, to be honest. I think this is a German version. Although it does say the Decca Record Company Limited on it. Diva. One of them. This was £10. In one way, this was the bargain of the day. £10 for David Bowie LP. And it's still got the shrink on it. To be honest, this has still got the shrink on it. It looks like it's discoloured. But that there, all this here, is actually the shrink not coming away. Ooh. Hi, it's David Bowie. Didn't sound much like David Bowie, did it? And the last one I've saved to, or the best one I've saved to last in a lot of ways. I'm not sure, but I've got a feeling that Beatle Brad, you might have this one, or you've got something very, very similar. Which isn't why I bought it. I bought this because I thought it was a reissue in mono, because it does say mono there. And it's supposed to be a Brazilian copy of Revolver. That's it, Beatles album from 1966. So you have actually got some of it's in English and some of it's in Brazilian or Spanish or something. So on the Odin label, something down there which I can't read. So that is the back. BTL1002, which I presume is supposed to be the number. Which is there. Mono, which is there. Nice spine. You do get the track listing, you get the Odin there, look. Track listing. But this is very, very nice record when you get it out. I don't know if it is mono or not because I haven't played it, but it's really, really weird. It looks really, really nice put like that. Well, I think it does. It's like an orangey marble effect. You say you've seen 7 wonders and your bird is green, but you don't get me. Again, very, very heavyweight record. So, yes, we had an absolutely wonderful day yesterday. And because the weather was really, really nice, when we came back, we actually managed to sit in the garden for a bit. So, that was £20 for a coloured vinyl mono version. Is it mono? I don't know. Version of the Beatles Rubber Soul. Again, very, very nice because I haven't got it on an Odin label like that. Again, I can't tell you what it sounds like because I haven't played it. But remember, this is not a in-depth review. It's just showing you what I got at the record fair. David Bowie, The Beginning, Volume 2, £10. The Beatles red vinyl version of Twist and Shout, again, probably a bootleg or counterfeit, £18 that was, which I think, and I think this is brand new, and I think that Revolver one is brand new. The Rolling Stones Unturned, No Stone Unturned, sorry, that was £20 for original early 1970s press. Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band with the, which says it's a stereo, and then on the bottom here it says a mono recording, and it's not a gatefold, so it's a non-gatefold. And this is on, what colour vinyl was this? That was like that orangey marble effect one, wasn't it? Again, very, very nice looking LP. Very, very well constructed. That was £20. The most obvious counterfeit of the lot, or fake, is this one. I don't know what it plays like. Don't know if I'll ever play it, to be honest. Still nice to have to add to my collection. But like I said, I think the originals had a blue sleeve, didn't they? I think it was blue. I think it was like this, but I think it was blue. Or they look blue, the ones I've seen anyway. £20. This was on coloured vinyl as well, wasn't it? Was this on red? No, this was on green, wasn't it? Green vinyl. But you know, the lovely heavyweight record, honestly. But you can tell it's a fake a mile away, can't you? Which doesn't bother me one iota, as we're saying, or used to say in the UK. I bought these knowing what they are, so I haven't got a problem with them. I mean, would you spend £50 or £60 on that thinking it was an original if it's on green vinyl anyway, or coloured vinyl? Some people might, I don't know. But like I say, it's still nice to have to add to the collection. And then the one I like the best, in all honesty, is this one. I do like this picture disc of yesterday and today. With the famous butcher cover picture on that one. But like I said, I don't know what the sound quality is like. This is really, really heavy. I bet you this must be more than 180 gram. I bet you that's 200 gram. Again, £20. I think in total I went with the intention of spending up to £100. I had that with me, but my intention was to spend around £100. In the end, I spent 91, 90, 30. I spent £120 in the end on them. Have I got a bargain, folks? I think I have. I really do, because I know these do occasionally come up on eBay and other internet sort of like sites, and I think they usually go for round, or they're up for £50 or £60 mark. I'm not saying that's what they get, but so I paid 20 for that. So I think whatever, that's nice, even as an art of work, work of art to put on your wall or something, or frame. I think that is lovely. I really do think it's lovely. That one I've seen on eBay and places like that, and usually around the £50 mark. This one I've never seen, the non-gatefold version of Sergeant Pepper, even though I do know it's a bootleg. Hello, Beatlebad. How are you, my mate? Hi there, my friend. I just got here. You haven't missed a lot, mate. I think there's only me and you so far making any conversation. Well done, mate, on the Revolver one. And yes, I do have that one as well. I do think we'll like it, and it does sound. Yeah, I think I can vaguely remember you showing it, Brad. That Revolver one, but I think yours was more of like a bright red colour, wasn't it? And and me and Susie Sue had a brilliant time, mate, yesterday. I don't know if you have fish and chips in America. In England, it's a bit like a tradition to have fish and chips. And if you ever go to Matlock, Bath, where this record fair was, it's mainly calves, fish and chip shops, pubs and arcades. And they were the best fish and chips I've ever had in Matlock. So probably some of the best fish and chips I've ever had in my life. Really, really lovely. Really, really nice. Then we've got the twist and shout one. I don't know if you've got this one, Brad, have you? Have you got this one, the twist and shout one on bright red vinyl? Again, I've seen it a couple of times on eBay, and I think usually these go between the £30 to £50. But I could be wrong again, £20. So I'm in the middle. So I think I've got a bargain. This David Bowie one, I'm not sure. I paid a tenner. I think that's probably just a little bit less than what it's worth. It's probably worth about £15, probably. The original album, what this is taken from, by the way, original 1967 pressing, usually go for in the hundreds. And then, of course, we've got this one. And according to Beatle Brad, this sounds fantastic, so I'm going to be playing this in a minute. Do you know if it's mono or not, though, Beatle Brad? If you're still there, do you know if this actually is mono? It says mono, but like I say, I haven't had a chance to play them yet. And then this one as well, to go with my Rolling Stones collection. Usually, I've never actually seen this one on LP before. I've got it on CD, but I think the CD is a bootleg. So yeah, again, £20 for original Rolling Stones, or an official Rolling Stones LP. You got Twist and Shout one, but mine, mine's from Canada, mate. Mine is from Canada. I'm sure it's from Canada. Manufactured by Capitol Records of Canada Limited. Yeah. And this is quite expensive. If you ever want an original one of these are quite expensive. So, like I say, £20 for this. I'm just happy to actually have a copy of this in my collection now. So that's it. That's my finds. Do you think I've done well or not? I think I have, and it was nice to have a day out as well. What's that one there? How are you doing with it all? We have. Oh, you do have fish and chip shops in America then? Lovely. Sue's all right as well, Brad, by the way. Thank you, mate. Yeah, I think I did all right, and as long as I'm happy, it doesn't matter. And you're saying that that revolver one is mono, which is even better than, isn't it, for £20? Where can you find a mono copy of revolver for £20 or whatever that is in US dollars? Uh, I did gather the twist and I think most of them are boots. To be honest, the Beatles ones. But like I say, I'm not endorsing bootlegs or counterfeits or anything like that. I just buy them there for something a little bit different in my collection. Uh, there is one other LP. Um, we didn't get this yesterday. Susie Sue actually bought me this, and it is the Beatles, A Night on the Town. And apparently, this is from 1963. And I think it's a live recording. But I haven't really had a chance to look at it. But it's from me to you. I saw her standing there, all my loving, roll over Beethoven, boys, till there was you. Side to his, she loves you, this boy. I want to hold your hand, money, that's what I want, and twist and shout. But until I've played it, I can't really tell you what it's like. This is on red vinyl as well, by the way. Susie Sue bought me. This is sort of like a belated wedding present. So I don't know if you've got this one, Brad. 2022, this came out. And this is supposed to be one of the first ever live recordings of the Beatles playing a whole gig in the UK, according to this. Odeon Cinemas or something, I don't know. I haven't really had a chance to look at that one any better at the minute, but what are you putting there? It's good to talk to you like this. And you're looking great, mate. Thank you very much. Cool t-shirt, yeah. Yeah. Although my belly's looks like it's sticking out on there. I think it's just the way this laptop is, because if I go like that, it doesn't look quite as bad, does it? But I'm putting on a few pounds, Brad. It's all this married life. She's looking after me and feeding me up and things like that. You know what it's like, mate. You know what it's like. Yeah, Beatles bootlegs, I've got no problem with them. Like I say, I think they're regarded in the UK a little bit different to America, but I think in America you don't like bootlegs when you're buying them brand new, because you think the people that are distributing them, from what I can make out, are like to do with drugs and firearms and illegal activities and stuff like that. I think in the UK most people of my age just think of bootlegs as well, because the record companies can't be bothered to release these things, and fans, a lot of them are done by fans. Yes, they are probably making money out of it, but it's just what it is. In the 80s, 70s and 80s, we didn't have the internet and things like that and YouTube, and so if you wanted something slightly different, this is the only way that you could get them, to be honest. Although, are these bootlegs or are they counterfeits? Or are they a bit of both? Still think that's a strange one, though. I do think that's strange. Yes, yes, you did a video of you going to look at the Dakota and going to Strawberry Fields. I did answer that. When we go to Liverpool, we usually go by train, and there's a great big building next door to Lime Street Station, which is called the Great Western Hotel, or was called the Great Western Hotel. And if you stand back from that, it's very, very similar to the Dakota. And I don't know if that's why John went to live at the Dakota, because it reminded him of that. I don't know. I have been to Strawberry Field, the one near John's house in Liverpool. Been to Penny Lane, obviously been to the Cavern Club and been down Matthew Street. I've been to the Grapes and places like that. But I am very, very, very envious of you, mate. I really am. You've gone to like one of the meccas in one way for Beatles fan, isn't it? The last house that John lived in, or the last building that John lived in. When you was near them gates, though, I must admit, the hairs on the back of my neck started to like come up a bit, thinking of what happened there, which is daft, really, because it's a long time ago now, isn't it? But it's still a horrible thing that happened, and I like the way that you put the photos in, where you was like outside the Dakota, and then you put a photo. You somehow managed to put a photo of John and Yoko standing in roughly the same place and things like that. If you ever come to the UK, Brad, me and you will meet up, and hopefully it could be in Liverpool. There's a really, really good museum on Matthew Street, and it is called the Beatles Museum, not to be confused with the one which is the Albert Dock, which is the Beatles Experience or something like that. And the Beatles Museum is actually run by Vogue Best, who is the brother of Pete Best. And there's some fantastic things in there, mate. You just come back from New York, mate. Yeah, I have been watching some of your videos, but I've been working a lot this week as well. I think me and you would get on fine, but I think if we ever met, I think we'd get on brilliant. I really do. You've got the same sort of, or a very, very similar sense of humour to me as well, and you don't take yourself that serious, although sometimes you do. But I was amazed by what you did, mate. I was amazed, and the music you was playing on it as well, spot on, mate. I did leave your comment. I don't know if you've seen it, but yeah, I have been quite lucky. We started going to Liverpool. Well, I started going to Liverpool in about 1981, 1982. And the first time I went to Liverpool, I went with my mum. And all the docks were all salted up, and the docks were basically ruined. Nobody wanted anything to do with them. And we went down Matthew Street, and where the Cavern Club was just a car park. And where the Cavern Club is now was still like a derelict building, or it might be the other way around. I did actually meet Alan Williams once on a visit to Liverpool, who was one of the first managers of the Beatles. I've met, well, I say met, I've seen Pete Best a couple of times, because he does go into that Beatles museum quite often to see his brother. And I also had the privilege of very, very, very briefly meeting George Harrison once in a pub. That's another story. I think I've told it, yeah. We're gonna. Beatle Bud, I'm sure our two wives would get on tremendous. Susie Sue loves the Beatles. She loves Bon Jovi and things like that as well. And she's a good girl. Honestly, she is a good girl. She's seen me through quite a bit, to be honest. Dad, if it wasn't for Sue, I don't think I'd even be here now. When we first met, I was in a very, very dark place. That's all I'm going to say on here, to be honest. Yeah. Yeah, I've met quite a few famous people in my life. Not all to do with the Beatles, though. I've met Queen Elizabeth II. Well, I say met. I've seen her in a car going to Westminster Abbey. Oh, I've seen Paul McCartney as well. Not live. He drove past me in a big Mercedes once in Liverpool. I think he was going to do something at that Liverpool Institute of Arts, or whatever it's called, that he co-owns, doesn't he? But yeah, when you get to our age, Brad, it's amazing to think of some of the things that you've done, and some of the people that I've met are actually no longer with us as well now. Not necessarily famous people that are famous in America, but I've met a lot of people that were famous in the UK. People like a comedian called Ken Dodd, met him. Arthur Askey. They were both from Liverpool. Brian Clough, the Nottingham Forest football manager. Met him a few times. Who was the other one I met? I can't remember his name. A couple of Nottingham Forest players used to live close to where I live, so we used to meet them quite regular. And Derby County footballers. You know, the list goes on, mate. They're not all really, really famous in America, though. That's the only thing. I've met somebody called Tommy Steele. Don't know if you've ever heard of him. He was like one of the British rock and rollers of the like mid to late 50s, and then he became sort of like an entertainer. He starred in films like Half for Sixpence and things like that. Yeah, I've met Mick James out of The Clash and Tony James out of Generation X. I've met Watty Butchman out of The Exploited, but you know, these are people you probably don't really know. Once met Lemmy out of Motorhead, if you've ever heard of Motorhead. I did meet him, and at one point he used to live in Long Eaton, where I used to live, but that isn't where I met him. I met him in a pub. He wasn't playing; he was there just getting drunk, basically. Very, very nice bloke. Not really a lot like what you'd think is, because he always came over as being like very like confident and stuff, but he was actually quite a quiet bloke when he wasn't on stage. I think it was a bit of a persona for him. What else have I met? I've met Mick Avery, the drummer out of the Kinks. Quite a few when I think about it. Yes, we have done the records, so you might want to watch this in 5 minutes. Go back to the beginning. Some really, really nice, weird and wonderful records. Some of them are bootlegs, unofficial. And I don't really care because I didn't pay that much for them. Like I say, I had a wonderful, wonderful day. Beatlebad, I do love all things English, Lo. So I do know the people you're talking. Beatlebad, have you ever come to England? Have you ever been to visit England or the UK? Yeah, the last one you've put, mate. Possibly. The only reason I'm saying that is I've had a bit of a crap day today. Nothing to do with anything to do with YouTube, but something to do with something else. It made me a bit weary of sharing my phone number at the minute. You know, so I know you're an okay bloke. You meet like Beatle brother, aren't you, Beatlebad? You've been to the UK twice, Bad. Did you go to Liverpool by any chance when you came? A fantastic place. Like I said, I've been going there since the early 80s. Since I've been with Sue, we do try and go twice a year, at least twice a year. And they do have a big Beatles convention in around August time, I think. But if you ever try to go to stay into the hotels while it's on, you're paying absolutely stupid money. And I mean stupid money just to stay in the hotels. But that's another story. So once again, for those of you that have come late, I'll just quickly go through what I got. I got the Beatles Twist and Shout, unofficial bootleg, probably on coloured vinyl. I got the Rolling Stones No Stone Unturned. That's an original UK copy. I got this fantastic Revolver mono LP on coloured vinyl, which again, I don't think it's official. David Bowie Beginnings 2, which is basically David Bowie's first album, but in a different cover. Sergeant Pepper on coloured vinyl, non-gatefold sleeve, and it's got a mistake on the sleeve as well, because it's a stereo record, but it does say it's a mono recording. one of the bootlegs that you can tell a mile away, the Beatles Christmas album. Again, coloured vinyl, and probably one of my favourites. The Beatles Yesterday and Today on picture disc LP with the famous butcher cover on the back. Didn't pay a lot for all of them. I think the least I paid for an LP there was £10, and the most I paid was £20. Most of them were £20. What's back up into? Yes, I've been 2 times. Yes, would love to see the Beatles feast in Liverpool. I would love to go to the Beatles thing that they do in Liverpool, mate. But to be honest, you're talking probably £1,000 just to stop there for like 2 or 3 nights, and that's before your food or out like that. You know, it's Army Zinc. I think I've said your name. The Sergeant Pepper is unofficial too. Yeah, it is unofficial. It's made out to be an Australian copy, but I don't think it is. I bet there's a in the Abbey Road that's similar to that as well. But like I say, I haven't played any of these yet. So thank you, Beatle Brad. Yes, I am glad with all those that I've got. I think I've got a bargain. Like I say, I spent £120. I went with the intention of spending 100, spent 120. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 albums. So it's not that. I mean, it's not the bargain of the century, is it? But it's not too bad. It's not too bad at all. Yeah, Beatle Bad. Like I say, the one in Liverpool, they have it. It's like a Beatles weekend. And I'm sure it's in August. And like I say, we looked at going last year, and for me and Sue, stop in a hotel, not a big posh hotel, just like a average hotel. I think it was going to be just under £1,000. I think that was for 3 nights. But then you didn't get your breakfast or any meals in with that. They used to do one in Nottingham, and that they did actually call that the Beatles Feast, but they haven't done that for a while. But yes, Beatle Brad. I think I've got some good finds there. I know they're not to everybody's taste, with some of them being unofficial. But like I've said to you, I'm getting to the stage now where I just want something a little bit different. And like you say, that Revolver is actually a proper mono recording as well. So I mean, for £20, you can't think it costs more than that on CD, doesn't it? I think that was good. I'm happy with everything I've got, to be honest. Really, I'm happy. I'm even happy with that Christmas one, which I don't really know why I bought, because I've got a UK bootleg of that, and the labels on the UK one are very, 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 very convincing. Really are. So that was that one there. Yeah. Armin Zinc, I think I'm saying your name right. You got a bootleg version of the German Magical Mystery Tour a few weeks ago. Very well done, and the vinyl is perfect. Apple could learn from them. This is what we've been saying on some of these videos. It's like, what can we say? This is one of the biggest bootlegged Beatles LPs. This and probably introducing the Beatles, right? This is a crap. I'll admit. It's the cover's nice and everything. Don't get me wrong, the cover's nice, and the record looks nice, but the labels are absolute rubbish. You can tell it's a bootleg a mile away. But why things like this aren't official, somebody somewhere will find out a way of doing it. So yeah, Apple, release it. or do some sort of competition where, you know, if you buy so many Beatles records, you get a token. Then when you got 10 tokens or something, send off and you give us an official version of this. Okay? It's not rocket science, is it? You know, if while the market's there, if Apple aren't producing the things what people want, you know, people are going to look elsewhere for them, aren't they? Well done, you on it. The Christmas one is it is fun to have. I must admit, I've got the original, the UK version, which I won't get now because I'll have to get up and my arse will look dead. Oh, shall I check? Oh, God. There was one sec, thanks. It's in here. All right, sorry about that. So just for you, Brad, this is my UK version of the Beatles Christmas album. This is a fake. This is a fake. But this is identical to how the original one did come out. It's copyright 1970. And when you look at the labels on this, you look a bit dark, don't get me wrong. But that, very convincing, aren't they? Very, very convincing. So yeah, that I'd say that one is more convincing than the one I bought yesterday. Excuse me. And the sound quality on this is excellent, by the way. And you can pick these up pretty cheap on the internet. These usually go for about around the £50 mark. I'm just, let's have a look. Well done, you. Beetle Brad, you know, Dave. That's about $70. What, this one, Brad? That one's $70. So I did well to get that for £20 then, didn't I? I'm up. Armin, you're on about the vinyl box set. I don't think they've done that the whole box at the minute, but I do think you can get counterfeits of some of the records. I think. Could be wrong. They did a counterfeit one of the CD box sets because I've got it up there. I did buy it knowing what it was, and to me it sounds okay. Again, I'm not endorsing bootlegs or anything, but I paid a fraction for that for what I would for the official box set. Something like £30, I think that was. Where in the UK at the minute, the CD mono box set is going for around the £150 to £300 mark, depending on where you get it from. Beatle Brad, I do think the UK copy, although that's a boot and that's a boot, I think that one does look more, the labels and everything look more authentic on that than they do on that. But the contents are the same anyway, aren't they? Yeah, I think it was not Christmas just gone. I think it was the Christmas before. I think, but I could be wrong. God, so what's is $70 about £90 then? Is that what you're saying on that one, Brad? This goes for about 70 or 90. I don't think I'd have paid. I don't think I'd pay £70 for this. £20, yeah. But still nice to have because it's on coloured vinyl. And we all like a bit of coloured vinyl, don't we, Brad? We all like a bit of coloured vinyl. What's that one? Armin. Oh, I got the CD box as a China fake in 2010 and complained about and got my money back. The sound quality is quite good, so I kept it. Well done. Yeah. I think the sound quality on them is really good. The covers, on the other hand, aren't to match on the proper ones. But for what I paid for it, and play it now and again, so it's not too bad. Red and the green out there. What? This Christmas album you're on about, Pad? This one's on red, isn't it? Is this one on red or is this one on green? I can't remember now. Yeah, this one's on green vinyl, Pad. Yeah, this one is on green vinyl. But you see what I mean about that label there is nowhere near as good as the one on the UK one, is it? That was not too bad, but that's atrocious, really. So all in all, then you think I've got a bargain getting this one, do you, Brad? Yeah. The more I look at it, the more I'm like finding different things on it. It's a shame it didn't come Apple. So if you're listening, Apple, do the cover like this, all right? But then do the labels like it is on that one, so that they're nice and clear. And then if you want to put it on a coloured vinyl, put it on a coloured vinyl. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I think it looks good on green vinyl, and it goes with the John Lennon and Yoko Ono Christmas single, doesn't it? War is over if you want it thing, because Merry Christmas, War is over, because that was on green vinyl originally, but it was in the UK. I don't know about in America. So, said this wasn't going to be a very, very long video. It's going to finish now where it's nearly an hour long, and I'm getting thirsty and I need to go to the toilet. As you do at our age, don't we, Brad? So I hope you've all enjoyed this video. If you're new to the channel, please think about subscribing because it is free. It doesn't cost you a penny. And it's always like this, you know, me just talking a load of rubbish sometimes. But I do hope that you've enjoyed looking at my recent finds. I think I've done okay. Thank you to everybody that is commenting. Yeah, I think that's a daft thing about these Christmas albums, Brad. I mean, in the UK, this is the last thing I'm going to say before I go. In the UK, an original one of these can go anywhere up to £1,000. All right, like I say, you can pick them up for about 50, sometimes a little bit less. This is a good one though. Some of them aren't quite as good as this, and I don't know what the original one of the American one goes for in America. But you know, if something's worth 300, say 300, £500 like this, and you can get it for 30 or 40 or £50, you're going to get this, not aren't you? Not the one that's £500. This is what I'm saying. Apple are missing a trick with things like this. Ahmed, thank you for joining us. I look forward to reading some of your comments on later videos. I don't always do live streams. Sometimes it's feel like recorded on me camera, but yesterday when we went to the record fair, I did film most of it on this, and then when I went to look at it, it actually wiped it. But this phone is ready to be thrown out the window. So, Beetle Brad, I've already said that you're in prison, and you've sent some comments on other videos, and she just laughs when I say, "Oh, Beetle Brad says hi." So I'm going to call it a day, folks. As always, look after yourself, whatever you're doing over this bank holiday Easter weekend. If you're out crate digging or going to record fairs or shows and you get some finds, you know, share them on YouTube. You know, we're all here for entertainment. Don't take me too serious. You know, I am a serious collector, don't get me wrong, but I don't take myself too serious when I'm doing this, because when I try to do things all prim and proper, it just sounds really, really boring. You know, and say, "Oh, hello and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be looking at the Beatles Christmas album." So it doesn't sound like, does it? It's not me. You know, what you see is what you get. All the best to you, Beatle Brad. All the best to everybody that has left me comments. And like I say, I hope you've all liked this video. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. If you watch the video and you like it, please leave me a thumbs up, because that helps with the YouTube aneurysm things, and hopefully we can promote this channel with that, we're getting nearly up to 600 now. Like I say, when we get to 1,000, or if we ever get to 1,000 subscribers, that is, I will be investing in some new equipment, basically a new laptop, and I want one of them things that you can, is it a Pogo or GoPro or something that you can attach to yourself, so that if I go to record fairs, people, aren't really going to know that I'm like recording it then, and then we can get some really, really good footage and things like that. And I do still want to start to do some needle drops at some point. I did do a few on YouTube Shorts, but can you really guess, what a record really sounds like in 16 seconds? I don't know. That is the thing I want to try and do more of, is I think you can buy some sort of license off YouTube, and then any record or song you play, the artist will get a royalty from it. Might not be as much as what other companies do, but that is what I want to do. If I'm going to do it, I want to do it all properly, so there's no comeback on me. I'm not going to get strikes or anything like that. So that is some of the plans for later. That is if we ever hit that £1,000, that 1,000 viewers mark. So until the next time, please look after yourselves. Thank you, Brad. I look forward to your new videos as well. Vinyl Dale, yeah, you've missed it all, mate. Basically, you've missed it. I've just been showing you some of the records I got at the Matlock Record Fair, which was in Matlock, Derbyshire. They were at Derby today, and I think tomorrow at Chesterfield. The one at Chesterfield, by the way, if you live anywhere near that, it's worth going to, because they have about 30 odd dealers there. I've never been. I was supposed to be going tomorrow, but my car's off the road, so that's knackered that up for me, which is why I went to Matlock yesterday, and I'm glad I did, because I got all these fantastic, weird and wonderful records to add to my collection. So as always, yeah, it's nearly my bedtime, mate. I'm about ready for You've been to Chesterfield, yes? Yeah, Vinyl Dale. If you live anywhere near Chesterfield, mate, honestly, if you're not doing anything tomorrow, go. Because like I say, there's loads and loads of dealers there, and it's just it's like a big old market. It's right in the centre of Chesterfield. Unfortunately, I can't go, so otherwise I'd be going there tomorrow. So that's going to be it for today, folks. So keep smiling, keep record collecting, digging. To all the Beatles fans all over the world, the VC, record collecting in general, just remember you are the Beatle Dave, and I'll see you on the next video, which might be tomorrow. I don't know. So, just look after yourselves, stay safe. And cheers to you, Brad, and cheers to everybody that has joined in on this live stream. I've really, really enjoyed it, to be honest. It's nice to get instant feedback. I love you all. And Mrs. Beatle Dave, or Susie Sue, loves you all. Yeah, see you as well, Vinyl Dale. I'm not sure where you live. I don't think you live that far away from me, do you? I'm Derby based. I think I'm not sure where you are. I've seen some of your videos when you're getting in shops, and some of them look really, really like familiar. So yeah, so until the next time, everybody, it's bye-bye for now. Bye-bye. See you later. Remember, keep on rocking.